There will always be noise around you. People will criticize you. Plans will fail. Someone will misunderstand you. Someone will disappoint you. You will lose opportunities you thought were meant for you. You will face days when nothing seems to go according to plan. And if your peace depends on everything outside you going perfectly, you will never truly be at peace because life will never become completely quiet. The real question is not, how do I create a life without disturbance? The real question is, how do I create a mind that cannot be disturbed? That is where strength begins. Most people believe strength means controlling what happens around them. Controlling other people, controlling outcomes, controlling circumstances. But the strongest person is not the one who controls the world. The strongest person is the one who can control himself when the world refuses to cooperate. Think about that. Anyone can remain calm when life is easy. Anyone can feel confident when everything is working. Anyone can smile when people agree with them. But what happens when you are criticized? What happens when someone disrespects you? What happens when you fail? What happens when your plans collapse? What happens when you have done everything correctly and still do not get the outcome you wanted? That is when your training begins. A disciplined mind understands something very important. Not everything deserves a reaction. You do not have to answer every insult. You do not have to defend yourself against every opinion. You do not have to participate in every argument. You do not have to explain your decisions to everyone. Sometimes the most powerful response is silence, not because you are weak, but because you understand the value of your energy. Every reaction costs something. Every unnecessary argument takes something from you. Your attention, your focus, your emotional strength, your peace. And once you understand how valuable your attention is, you stop giving it away so easily. Someone speaks badly about you? Let them. Someone misunderstands you? Let them. Someone does not believe in your vision? Let them. Your job is not to control their mind. Your job is to master yours. A mountain does not move because the wind becomes stronger. The wind may scream, rain may fall, storms may arrive, but the mountain remains. Become like that, not emotionless, not cold, not disconnected, but grounded, stable, centered. You can feel emotions without becoming controlled by them. You can experience anger without becoming anger. You can experience fear without becoming fear. You can experience disappointment without allowing disappointment to determine your future. This is where most people lose themselves. They believe every emotion requires action. They feel angry, so they react. They feel afraid, so they retreat. They feel uncomfortable, so they quit. They feel rejected, so they question their worth. But discipline creates space between what you feel and what you do. That space is power. When something happens, wait, observe your mind. Notice what is happening inside you. Your heart may beat faster. Your thoughts may become louder. Your ego may demand that you respond immediately. Do not obey automatically. Pause, breathe, watch, ask yourself, will my next action make this situation better or worse? That single question can save you from countless mistakes, because many of the biggest regrets in life are created in moments when emotion becomes faster than wisdom. One angry message, one impulsive decision, one unnecessary argument, one moment of ego, and suddenly you are repairing damage that never needed to happen. A trained mind does not suppress emotion. It understands emotion. When anger appears, observe it. When anxiety appears, observe it. When jealousy appears, observe it. When fear appears, observe it. Do not immediately identify with it. Instead of saying, I am angry, understand, anger is present. Instead of saying, I am afraid, recognize, fear is moving through me. You are the observer. The emotion is the visitor. Visitors arrive, visitors leave. But when you build your identity around every temporary emotion, you allow visitors to become rulers of your house. Take back your mind. You cannot stop every difficult thought from entering, but you can decide which thoughts you feed. That is mental discipline. Your mind is like a garden. Every thought you repeatedly entertain becomes a seed. Feed resentment every day, and resentment grows. Feed fear every day, and fear grows. Feed discipline, and discipline grows. Feed gratitude, and gratitude grows. Feed courage, and courage grows. You cannot plant weakness every morning and expect strength by evening. Be careful what you repeatedly tell yourself. I can't do this. This always happens to me. Nothing works. Everyone is against me. I am too late. I am not good enough. Repeat these sentences long enough, and your mind will begin treating them as truth. But they are not necessarily truth. They are habits of thinking, and habits can be changed. Start training your inner voice when the mind says, "This is too difficult." Answer, "Then I will become stronger." When the mind says, "I am uncomfortable." Answer, "Discomfort is part of growth." When the mind says, "I want to quit." Answer, "Finish what you started." When the mind says, "What if I fail?" Answer, "Then I learn." You cannot build an undisturbed mind by avoiding difficulty. You build it by facing difficulty repeatedly. Every challenge becomes training. Every setback becomes training. Every difficult person becomes training. Every delay becomes training. Every rejection becomes training. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" begin asking, "What is this teaching me?" That changes everything. That changes everything. A difficult person may teach you patience. A failure may teach you preparation. A rejection may teach you independence. A painful ending may teach you detachment. A period of loneliness may teach you who you are when nobody is watching. Sometimes life removes noise so you can finally hear yourself. Do not be afraid of solitude. Learn to sit without stimulation, without scrolling, without constant music, without messages, without needing someone to entertain your mind. Sit quietly. At first, you may feel uncomfortable, because silence reveals everything distraction has been hiding: unfinished thoughts, old fears, regrets, questions. But stay there. Do not run. The mind becomes stronger when you stop escaping from yourself. This is why discipline matters. Wake up when you said you would wake up. Do the work when you said you would do it. Exercise even when motivation disappears. Keep small promises to yourself, because every promise you keep builds trust with yourself, and every promise you repeatedly break teaches your mind that your words mean nothing. Confidence is not created by motivational quotes. Confidence is created when your actions prove that you can rely on yourself. You said you would train. You trained. You said you would study. You studied. You said you would stop returning to what keeps hurting you. You stopped. You said you would become better. And day after day, you worked. That is confidence. Create confidence. The kind that does not need applause. The kind that does not collapse when nobody notices. Understand this. If you need validation to continue, people control your motivation. If criticism can stop you, people control your direction. If rejection can destroy your self-worth, people control your identity. Take that power back. You do not need everyone to understand your journey. You do not need everyone to approve of your decisions. Some people will only understand the version of you that benefited them. The moment you change, boundaries appear. The moment you become disciplined, certain relationships become uncomfortable. The moment you stop reacting, some people will call you distant. The moment you stop explaining yourself, they may say you have changed. Maybe you have. Growth requires change. You cannot become who you are meant to become while protecting every version of yourself that you have outgrown. Let the old version go, the version that reacts to everything, the version that needs approval, the version that procrastinates, the version that compares constantly, the version that allows temporary emotions to create permanent decisions. Let that person go and begin building someone stronger, someone who can sit in chaos and still think clearly, someone who can receive criticism without losing direction, someone who can lose something without losing himself, someone who can be alone without feeling empty, someone who can experience failure without believing he is a failure, someone who can hear noise outside and still maintain silence inside. This does not happen overnight. Mental strength is trained through repetition. One calm response, one disciplined morning, one temptation resisted, one difficult workout, one uncomfortable conversation handled with maturity, one day when you wanted to quit but continued anyway. Again, until eventually you realize something. Things that once destroyed your peace no longer control you. The comment that once ruined your entire day now means nothing. The rejection that once made you question yourself becomes redirection. The setback that once made you quit becomes information. The silence that once frightened you becomes your sanctuary. You become harder to disturb because you finally understand. Your peace is your responsibility. Stop handing that responsibility to other people. Stop saying, "They made me angry, they ruined my mood, they destroyed my confidence." People can trigger something inside you, but what happens next is your responsibility. You decide what you carry, you decide what you release, you decide what receives your attention. And sometimes strength means saying, "This does not deserve space in my mind," then walking away. No revenge, no explanation, no performance, just peace. Remember, the world does not need to become quiet for you to become calm. Your problems do not need to disappear for you to become strong. Everyone does not need to respect you for you to respect yourself. Everything does not need to go according to plan for you to continue moving forward. The storm can exist, and so can your peace. Build yourself until your inner world becomes stronger than the circumstances surrounding you. Train your thoughts, control your reactions, protect your attention. Keep your promises. Choose discipline over impulse. Choose patience over anger. Choose purpose over distraction. Choose peace over proving yourself. And one day, when chaos enters your life again, you will notice something different. The world may be shaking, but you are not. People may be talking, but you are not reacting. Things may not be going your way, but you are still moving forward. The storm is outside you, not inside you. And that is when you will understand what true strength really means. Not controlling everything, not defeating everyone, not avoiding every problem, but becoming so grounded within yourself that whatever happens around you cannot easily take you away from who you are. Build that mind, a mind that does not break under pressure, a mind that does not surrender to every emotion, a mind that does not chase every distraction, a mind that remains focused when others panic, a mind that remains disciplined when motivation disappears, a mind that remains peaceful when the world becomes loud. Because when you master your mind, you stop becoming a victim of every circumstance. You stop being controlled by every opinion. You stop reacting to every disturbance. And slowly, quietly, powerfully, you become a person who cannot easily be shaken. Build a mind that cannot be disturbed. And wherever life takes you, carry your peace with you.